In a world that celebrates constant connection, there's a quiet revolution brewing. It's not happening in bustling cafes or crowded parties, but in the solitude of libraries, home offices, and serene parks. Meet the solitudinarians, the people who love being alone. They're not lonely or antisocial. They're simply fueled by a different energy. But what drives them? And what can we learn from their world? Picture this: a person sitting alone in a bustling coffee shop, not because they have nowhere to go or no one to talk to, but because they find deep satisfaction in their own company. This is not a scene of isolation, but of intense self-awareness and contentment. Psychologists call this trait sensory processing sensitivity, a heightened awareness of subtleties in their environment, leading to rich inner lives and profound personal growth. But what happens when society misinterprets this strength as shyness or aloofness? And how do solitudinarians navigate a world that often values extroversion above all else? Their story is one of resilience, self-discovery, and an unexpected path to fulfillment. Stick around, because understanding their psychology might just change the way you see solitude, and perhaps yourself. In the quiet corners of libraries, the solitude of a walk in the park, or the peaceful hum of a home office, there are individuals who thrive. They are not lonely. They are alone by choice. This is not isolation. It is a sanctuary. These are the people who love being alone, and their psychology is as rich and nuanced as the world they retreat from. At the heart of this preference lies the concept of self-determination theory, which suggests that humans have inherent needs for autonomy, competence, and relatedness. For those who cherish solitude, these needs are often met more profoundly in their own company than in the company of others. Consider the scenario of a person who has just finished a long day at work. While others might seek out friends or family to unwind, this individual retreats to their home, a space that is entirely their own. Here, they can shed the expectations and roles they play in public, much like a mask being removed. This is not a sign of antisocial behavior, but rather a form of self-care. It's a chance to recharge, to reflect, and to reconnect with their inner self. The quiet is not emptiness. It is a canvas for their thoughts and ideas. This aligns with the idea of sensory processing sensitivity, a trait observed in some individuals who are more likely to feel overwhelmed by stimulation and therefore seek out calm environments. In the world of philosophy, this idea is not new. Pascal, the 17th century philosopher, once noted that all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. He wasn't praising solitude for its own sake, but rather pointing out that in the quiet, we confront ourselves and our thoughts. For those who love being alone, this confrontation is not a source of anxiety, but a source of strength. It's a chance to engage in deep thinking, creative pursuits, or simply to enjoy the peace. This is not laziness. It's a form of active engagement with the self. The energy conserved in these moments is not wasted, but rather invested in personal growth and understanding. Moreover, solitude is not a rejection of society, but a different way of relating to it. Like a tree that needs to grow deep roots to stand tall, these individuals need time alone to grow and strengthen their sense of self. This is not shyness. It's a boundary-setting mechanism. It's a way of ensuring that their interactions with others are meaningful and authentic, rather than forced or superficial. This aligns with the idea of boundary theory, which suggests that individuals create boundaries to manage their interactions and maintain their sense of self. In this way, those who love being alone are not avoiding the world, but engaging with it on their own terms. This leads us to the next point, the idea that solitude is not a weakness, but a strength. In the quiet corners of libraries, on the edges of bustling cities, or in the secluded cabins nestled within forests, there exist individuals who find profound comfort in solitude. These are the solitary souls, people who not only enjoy but thrive in their own company. They are frequently misunderstood, often labeled as shy, antisocial, or even lazy. But to truly understand them, one must delve deeper into the psychology that drives their preference for solitude. Their solitude is not a void but a sanctuary. It is where they recharge, reflect, and find meaning. For these individuals, socializing drains them. It's not just tiredness. It's a feeling of their batteries slowly leaking, percent by percent, with every forced smile. This phenomenon can be linked to sensory processing sensitivity, a trait identified by psychologist Elaine Aron. Highly sensitive people, or HSPs, experience the world with heightened intensity. Social interactions, for them, are akin to being in a room with blaring lights and loud noises. It's overwhelming, and solitude is their way of returning to a comfortable, dimly lit space. Their solitude is not a rejection of the world, but a necessity for their well-being. It's a strategic retreat, a way to conserve energy for when it truly matters. They are not lazy. They are energy conservers, a trait that allows them to focus deeply on their passions, unburdened by the constant noise of social obligations. The solitary soul is often an observer, a quiet watcher of the world. They might not be the life of the party, but they are the ones who notice the subtle shifts in mood, the unspoken words, the hidden emotions. This keen observation is not a sign of shyness, but a testament to their deep empathy and introspection. They are the ones who listen more than they speak, who absorb the world around them and reflect on it in solitude. This introspective nature is a hallmark of what psychologist Carl Jung termed the introverted personality type. Jung described introverts as individuals who gain energy from within through reflection and solitude, rather than from external social interactions. Their solitude is not a sign of aloofness, but a space where they process the world, turning observations into insights. They may seem quiet, but their minds are often a whirlwind of thoughts, ideas, and creations. Their solitude is their laboratory, their studio, their thinking space. It's where they turn the raw data of life into something meaningful, whether it's art, writing, or profound personal growth. Their apparent isolation is a misnomer. They are deeply connected to their inner world, and it is from this depth that their unique contributions to the world often emerge. For many, solitude is not an absence, but a rich, vibrant presence. It's a canvas where the mind paints vivid dreams, solves intricate puzzles, and nurtures self-awareness. This is the heart of what psychologists call self-determination theory, which emphasizes the importance of autonomy, competence, and relatedness for personal growth. For those who love being alone, solitude is where they find their autonomy, a space where they can dictate the rhythm of their thoughts and actions. It's in these moments that they feel most competent, tackling challenges at their own pace, without the pressure of external judgment. They enjoy a unique form of relatedness too, connecting deeply with their own values and beliefs. Imagine a writer, pen in hand, crafting a story. The words flow not because of an external demand, but because of an internal drive. This is the power of solitude for them. In the quietude, they find a sanctuary, a safe haven away from the noise and chaos of the world. It's not that they are antisocial or misanthropic. Rather, they are sensitive to stimuli, a trait known as sensory processing sensitivity. This means they experience the world more deeply and intensely, making solitude a refuge from overwhelming sensations. Think of it like a crowded room. Most people might find it lively, but for someone with high sensitivity, it's a symphony of sounds, scents, and sights that can be overpowering. Alone, they can regulate these sensations, finding a sense of calm and peace. They recharge in solitude, much like a battery that needs to be unplugged to regain its charge. Moreover, solitude offers them a unique perspective. It's a time for introspection, a chance to reflect on their experiences and learn from them. This is where the concept of journaling comes into play, a tool often used in cognitive behavioral therapy. It helps them process emotions, make sense of complex situations, and gain insights about themselves. Picture an artist standing back from their canvas, viewing their work from a distance. That's the kind of perspective solitude offers. It allows them to see the bigger picture, to connect the dots, and to understand their place in the world. In the words of the philosopher Blaise Pascal, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. For these individuals, solitude is not a problem but a solution, a way to understand themselves and the world better. The mind of someone who cherishes solitude is a vast, intricate landscape. It's a place where introspection is not a rare event, but a constant companion, a beacon guiding them through the labyrinth of their thoughts and emotions. This is not mere daydreaming or mind-wandering. It's a deliberate, focused examination of one's mental and emotional state. a process psychologists refer to as self-awareness. This heightened self-awareness is often a hallmark of individuals with high sensory processing sensitivity, a trait first identified by psychologist Elaine Aron. These individuals process information deeply and thoroughly, which can lead to a rich and complex inner life. Consider someone who spends an evening alone, not out of loneliness, but choice. They might find themselves analyzing a recent conversation, not to dwell on it, but to understand it better. They replay the words, the tones, the silences, dissecting each component like a linguist examining a complex sentence. It's not that they're overthinking. They're simply engaging in a mental exercise that helps them understand their social interactions more deeply. This introspection is not a sign of anxiety or overthinking, but a tool for self-understanding and personal growth. This deep introspection often leads to a profound sense of self-awareness. They know their strengths and weaknesses, their likes and dislikes, their values and beliefs. They're not trying to impress anyone or live up to anyone's expectations. They're simply being themselves in all their authenticity. This is not a sign of narcissism or self-absorption. It's a sign of healthy self-awareness. It's a concept that philosopher Pascal might appreciate, as he believed that all human problems stem from our inability to sit quietly in a room alone. For these individuals, sitting quietly in a room alone is not a problem, but a joy. It's an opportunity to engage in the most fundamental of human activities, thinking. This deep understanding of oneself often translates into a strong sense of self-determination. They know what they want and need, and they're not afraid to go after it. This is not a sign of selfishness or arrogance. It's a sign of healthy self-determination. It's a concept that psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan might appreciate, as they believe that self-determination is a fundamental human need. For these individuals, self-determination is not just a need, but a way of life. It's a way of living authentically, of pursuing their passions and goals, of creating a life that is truly their own. This strong sense of self-determination often leads to a deep sense of contentment and satisfaction. It's not that they're never unhappy or dissatisfied. It's that they're able to confront and work through these feelings in a healthy and productive way. It's a sign of emotional resilience, a trait that will serve them well in all aspects of their life. Alone in their apartment, Alex sighs, peeling off the metaphorical mask they wear daily. The mask of politeness, of extroversion, of constant engagement. It's not that Alex dislikes people, but being around them often feels like acting in a play where the script is never-ending and the role is never quite right. This is the essence of authenticity in isolation. It's the freedom to be unapologetically oneself, away from the prying eyes and expectations of others. This concept is akin to what psychologists refer to as self-concordance, a term from self-determination theory. It's the alignment of one's actions with their intrinsic values and desires, untainted by external pressures. For Alex, this means the ability to express their thoughts, feelings, and quirks without the filter of social expectations. It's not just about being alone, but about the quality of that solitude. It's a sanctuary where their true self can perform without the constraints of a mask. In the quiet of their own company, Alex can indulge in their passions without the need to justify or explain them to others. Perhaps it's the joy of losing themselves in a book, the thrill of creating art, or the simple pleasure of contemplating the world. This is where the concept of flow comes into play, a state of complete absorption in an activity that psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi identified. It's a state that many introverts and those who love solitude find more easily when they are alone. It's not just about enjoying the activity, but about the sense of mastery and control that comes with it. This control is a radical departure from the unpredictable dynamics of social interactions. It's a reclaiming of agency, a chance to be the author of their own narrative. Moreover, solitude offers a space for introspection and self-discovery. It's an opportunity to engage with one's thoughts and feelings without the distractions and interruptions of social life. This introspection can lead to greater self-awareness and personal growth. It's a chance to confront and understand one's emotions, to reflect on one's experiences, and to make sense of one's place in the world. This process is akin to what Carl Jung referred to as individuation, the process of integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of the psyche to become a whole, authentic individual. For Alex, this might mean journaling, meditating, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation. It's a journey inward, a chance to explore the depths of their own mind and heart. This journey is not always easy, but it's a journey that leads to a deeper understanding of oneself and a greater sense of authenticity. This authenticity, in turn, can make social interactions more meaningful and less draining. It's a paradox. The more time Alex spends alone, the more genuine their connections with others can become. Being alone isn't just a preference for some, it's a necessity. It's where they recharge, reflect, and truly understand themselves. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "The solitude that you need in order to create and to write must become, paradoxically, a solitude with many." For these individuals, solitude is the canvas, the blank page, the space where their minds can paint, write, and innovate. Their introspection, often mistaken for shyness, is a profound understanding of their own emotions and motivations. It's what psychologists call self-determination theory in action. They're driven by their own internal desires, not external validation. Their seemingly lazy demeanor is actually a conscious choice to conserve their energy for what truly matters to them. And their anger, if any, is a powerful boundary-setting mechanism, protecting their precious solitude. So, if you're someone who loves being alone, embrace it. It's not a flaw, it's your strength. If you're someone who's still finding their rhythm, maybe there's a lesson here for you. Remember, every personality trait is a spectrum, and there's beauty in every shade. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you found your balance between solitude and socialization? Share your journey with us in the comments. And if you're curious about more intriguing aspects of human psychology, stay tuned. Our next video will delve into the fascinating world of cognitive dissonance, how we deal with the discomfort of holding two conflicting beliefs at once. It's a journey you won't want to miss. So, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep being you. Because in the end, isn't that what psychology is all about? Understanding and embracing the wonderfully complex human experience.